All right, guys, welcome to 9.1, first day of a new chapter. Today we're going to learn about square roots. So the learning targets are I can approximate square roots to the nearest hundredth, and I can evaluate radical expressions on a calculator. Okay, so as a warm-up, let's see what you guys know about this. What's the answer? Solve for x. What number squared is 16? And I bet a lot of you guys would say that x equals 4. And you're right, because 4 squared is 16. But there's actually two answers. There's another number that when you square it, you get 16. And that one is negative 4. Okay, and let me just show you. So 4 squared is 16, but also negative 4 squared is also 16. Okay, so it turns out that how you get these two answers is you do something called you square root both sides. And when you do that, you always get two answers. Okay, so every square root has two answers. One is positive and one is negative. When we want the positive answer, you will only see the square root and the number. When we want the negative answer, you'll see a negative sign out front of it. That'll tell you that they want the negative answer. And when we want both the positive and the negative, you'll see this symbol with a plus and a minus sign, and that means they want both answers. Okay, so just the number's positive, a negative sign, they want the negative version, and then the plus and the minus, they want both. Okay, so here's how we're going to practice. You're going to need a calculator today, and we're going to see if you can type these in the calculator and round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so the first one, negative. Here's the square root. It's in blue. The square root is in blue right here. So you have to hit blue square root, and then just type in 49, hit enter. So the first one is negative 7. The second one, blue square root 7 is 2.65 if you round to the nearest hundredth. Now this one, there's no symbol in the calculator, so this just means you're going to get two answers. You're going to get the positive version of square root of 23, so 4.795 would be like 4.8. And then they also want the negative version. So negative 4.8. And then the last one, square root of 131, they only want the positive version, so 11.45. Okay, so this one they wanted negative, this one they wanted positive, this one they wanted both, this one they wanted positive. All right, looking good, keep going. So a little bit of vocab. These square root problems are called radical expressions. So a radical expression is any expression that involves a square root symbol. Okay, so these are all called radical expressions because they all have a square root sign. And then the radicand is the stuff inside the radical symbol. So this 2x minus 3 is called the radicand. The x is called the radicand. The x squared plus 7 is called the radicand. Just a little bit of vocab. All right, guys, more stuff to just see if you can type it in the calculator. So go ahead and type in 6 plus square root of 5. 6 plus square root of 5. Super easy. This would be 8.24. Okay, moving on. Type this one in. Now for this one, since it's written as a fraction, I would go to my alpha y equals, hit enter. I would go to my fraction button so I can just type it in exactly. So 1 minus 2 square roots of 3 all over 4. And then it's really easy. It's just negative 0.62. Okay, now this one, the bad news is we have to do it twice because there is no button that does plus and minus. So we're going to have to get two different answers. Okay, so let's make our fraction. Let's do the plus first. Negative 4 plus square root of 72 all over 3. So with the plus sign, we get 1.495, just rounds to 1.5. And now let's do it with the minus sign. Okay, so we're going to redo it with the minus sign. Let me show you guys a shortcut. If you hit the up arrow and hit enter on it, you could just go and edit the plus into a subtract. And then you don't have to type it all in again. This one's negative 4.16. It's kind of a shortcut. All right, last one. Can you evaluate this radical expression with these given values? All right, so let me show you guys how to do this one. All right, make a big square root sign. We want to do b squared, and b is negative 3. Okay, so go ahead and type in negative 3 squared. Now, you guys have to be careful. When you square a negative, you have to put it in parentheses before you square it. So that's how we're going to do b squared. If you forget the parentheses, it's going to be wrong. And then we have subtract. So hit the subtract. 4 times a times c. 4 times a, which is negative 2, times c, which is 5. Okay, so square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, and you get 7. All right, so just a reminder, guys, for that one, whenever you're at b squared, don't forget the parentheses because this is different than this. If you forget the parenthesis, negative 3 parentheses squared is 9, but negative 3 squared without a parenthesis is negative 9. So be careful. Make sure you include the parenthesis when it's negative. All right, that is it, guys. Thanks for watching Intro to Square Roots today.